Hey, peace and blessings. It's your brother Sorry back with yet another one. Yeah, peace to the true and living. Who the true and living? Like I said, ain't no owls in here. If you listen to this, you are the true and living. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, checking me out. Um, Back with the 48 laws of power. We are at the eighth law right now. Um, Eighth law would be make people come to you. Use bait if necessary. So that's kind of running through the 48 laws of power, the ones as mentioned by Robert Greene in his book entitled by the same name, kind of contrasting it with some of the concepts out of True Master, so you can kind of see it in its practical form. Um, yeah, so let's kind of hop right into this. You know what I mean? Okay, so in this law, so basically the law goes, make people come to you, use bait if necessary. So in the idea of making people come to you, Robert Greene, he kind of breaks down the whole thing about becoming a person of relevance to them, becoming a some sort of authority or somebody that somebody who is sought after. You see what I'm saying? For this person, that's what he means by make them come to you or whatever. Use bait if necessary. Use like some sort of bargaining chip or some sort of tool to incentivize them coming to you or when they come to you, whether it be information, whether it be something that they want or whatever case may be, utilizing scarcity and things of that nature. As far as your presence is concerned, you see what I'm saying? All those things like that are what Robert Greene talks about in his book, 48 Laws of Power, on this eighth law. So when we get into that from a true master perspective, uh, let's see here. In this law, we deal with principles and the holes in a person's structure. Remember, we said in the previous video, the idea of holes in the structure. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing in TM2 that we talk about holes and structures. And remember, when we talk about structures, a structure can be anything from a group of thoughts, a group of actions, a group of people, a group of machines, a group of anything can be arranged into a system or network to get a desired outcome. So that's what we talk about when we talk about structures. So and holes in structures would be little inefficiencies in the workings of these machines or um, uh, these vehicles to get a job done or whatever the case may be. If I got a car with an oil leak, you see what I'm saying? That'll be a hole in the structure. If you got some sort of you know what I'm saying, chronic issue or whatever case may be, um, whether it's very visible or not very visible, it still qualifies as a whole in that particular structure or whatever. It's still something that's exploitable. So why principles? Why are principles important in this? Okay, so when we say principles, right? Interchange the word principle with themes, right? When you deal with astrology, when they're dealing with houses and signs and planets and all that stuff like that, they're dealing with themes too. So it's a similar idea. Like I said, we're just working the opposite side. Um, why are principles important? Because that is the highest leverage point. Principles are your highest leverage point because the balance, just how we talked about on the other video about pressure gradients and stuff like that, the balance meant the relationship to principle or whatever is going to determine um, um, the relationships, the patterns. You see what I'm saying? Within the system. So why principles? Because it's the highest leverage point. The relationship with principle determines that what the person cares about, what the person cares about, and the patterns that govern the person's life. So remember, we're talking about Robert Greene. He's talking about make them come to you. He's talking about use bait if necessary. So all of that would entail knowing what this person cares about, the scenario or whatever case may be, and how you can actually use that to your advantage. Okay, so you learn about the person in order to convince them that they are the source of whatever the necessary outcome is. Okay, that's I know a lot of us may have experienced that before in regards to some people, based on their relationship with principle, you see what I'm saying? They can't accept something coming from you. If they didn't come up with it, it's not relevant. So similar to how we were talking about phonetic script and everything like that, it puts you in a place where if humans didn't write it, it's not important. So some people are like that. If they didn't think of it, then their ego won't allow them to use a suggestion that's coming from somebody else. So in this, what he's talking about, you just convince them that they came up with a suggestion or whatever case may be, and they'll execute your suggestion as if it was theirs or whatever case may be. You just can't be to the point where you're concerned about getting credit for the idea or whatever case may be. But that right there is an example of their relationship to principle. You see what I'm saying? It's something missing in the level of humility there. They have a bad relationship with humility. They can't humble themselves and take, you see what I'm saying, certain um suggestions and things or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. Okay, so let's see here. Uh you discern the principle so you can know the range of patterns this person will execute in their actions. Okay, so once you know the principle, you may not know exactly what the person is going to do, but you kind of got a way, you got kind of got an idea. It's in the ballpark of actions that they could potentially take, and bringing them to you, sort of like in the movie The Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come type deal. In bringing them to you, you become an archetype or symbol of what they are looking for, right? You become a symbolic representation of what they're looking for. So discerning the principle that governs them, or the set of principles that governs them, helps you discern what's important to them. Then you become, as Robert Greene says in his book, you become somebody of relevance to that person or an authority to that person or whatever the case may be. And from the true master perspective, that would entail being a symbol or some sort of archetypal representation of what they're looking for. You see what I'm saying? Okay, what does this person have a loyalty to? That's a question to that could be asked. What does this person have a loyalty to in their behavior? Money, attention, validation, acceptance, etc. So in those things, in that loyalty or whatever case may be, you're looking for too much or not enough. I'm assuming if they have a loyalty to it, it's gonna be too much. But you're looking for too much and not enough. Too much and not enough are exploitable. Balance is not necessary, not easily exploitable. It's the same thing how we were talking about timing and tempo in the previous video and stuff like that. How patterns have timing to them and stuff like that, and how you can speed up the timing of a pattern, or you can slow down the timing of a pattern. When realistically, you don't want to speed up or slow it down. You want to operate within time. You see what I'm saying? You want to operate within the music with the proper responses. You see what I'm saying? So if you know what you're doing, you probably won't have to slow down or speed up time. You may be able to operate within the flow. Okay, so let's see here. The bait, as stated in this, can be a symbol or representation of whatever that person may be loyal to. If you're trying to bring them to you could potentially represent some aspect of something that they may be loyal to, or whatever case may be. Now this goes back into what we were talking about on the previous video, concealing your intentions and courting attention and everything like that. Let's say like you're trying to pass yourself off as some sort of whatever to bring this person to you or whatever case may be. Um, that might be a method of slowing down. That might slow down time until they realize that you're not really the person that you said you was. You see what I'm saying? So that might be a thing as well. And to draw attention to yourself, to bring them to you, of course, that's in our model of speeding up time. That's speeding up time, bringing their attention to you immediately. But it also may be in a disguised form or whatever case may be. So you may be on borrowed time to get what you need done. Let's see here. This goes back into the idea of the two masters fighting and sizing each other up, hesitant to make the first move. In this scenario, the person who moves first offensively is susceptible to openings through counterattacks. So the person who makes the first move, he speeds up time to the sense where he gives away where he's gonna hit you, what he's trying to hit you with, you know what I'm saying, how fast he's coming, how it may go, whatever. Um, and he's susceptible to counterattacks and parries and all that stuff like that, and manipulation. So that's on the micro scale. When a person comes to you, you kind of see how they come or whatever. You have the opportunity to tailor the situation or tailor the environment. You have this gives you a home court advantage. They're walking into your world, your rules, potentially your pre-set up structures or whatever case may be to facilitate whatever outcome that you're trying to um, attain to. So yeah, that's the eighth law of power. Make people come to you. Use bait if necessary. You know what I mean? So we always try to give in the laws of power. I know a lot of them kind of get into a little bit of of manipulation, but we always try to give kind of like both sides of it. Like, okay, if you're passing yourself off as XYZ123 to bring people to you or whatever case may be, you see what I'm saying? If that's not really what it is, then that's it goes back to what we talked about in the previous law. That's just slowing down time. It's you on borrowed time. It's just a matter of time before the inevitable is figured out or whatever the case may be. So it all kind of bleeds into itself. It's sort of like one of them things is like, you know, I don't know. That's just some of the things that come with some of this stuff as far as manipulation and all that or whatever the case may be. It gets to be a tricky bag, and sometimes even in stuff like the manipulation aspect, you find yourself telling multiple lies to cover the lie that you told previously until you forget the lie that you told. So you see what I'm saying? I always try to give you the disclaimer on this stuff or whatever case may be. A lot of this stuff is situational. In True Master, it's not really a good and evil, right and wrong type thing. It's what you need to do to get a job done. So, just kind of getting that little disclaimer about the 48 laws of power. We're gonna keep going. Like what you've been hearing, like, subscribe, share the video with Big Mama, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Frank, whoever. Yeah, I mean, appreciate y'all for checking me out. Peace and love, man. Catch y'all on this one.